welcome to the first fall 2013 segment of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm JoJo Gentry.
And I'm Matt Schumacher. Today we have success stories on the field with the Butler men's soccer, women's volleyball, and football teams. We also have a story about women's volleyball outside hitter Kelly Kyle, who played on Team USA during the 2013 Deaflympics this summer in Bulgaria.
First up, Butler football. The Bulldogs are preparing to play Dartmouth this Saturday at the Butler Bowl after defeating Franklin College last weekend. This game will be Dartmouth's season opener. Here is my story about how Butler is preparing for Dartmouth by carrying components of last week's game to Saturday. The Butler football team is preparing for this week's game versus Dartmouth after edging a win at Franklin College last Saturday. The Bulldogs were down 14-0 in the second quarter before defeating the Grizzlies 31-28. Despite the Bulldogs' come-from-behind victory, the team is unsatisfied with its performance.
There was a lot of motivation on their side. They came out ready to play and they executed.
It definitely showed that we definitely took them lightly.
We didn't come out like we wanted to and start early. As being a captain, I just want our guys to come out from the beginning, no matter who we're playing against.
Pride thing, I think, we got to come out, we got to be excited every day that we get a chance to play football.
This week, Butler looks to stay competitive against Dartmouth at home this Saturday for the Ivy League team's season opener. The Bulldogs are seeking redemption against Dartmouth from last year's 35-7 loss. Butler head coach Jeff Forrest says having home field advantage will boost the team's confidence.
Yeah, I think every time you've had a game under your belt, it's to your advantage. Being at home is another big factor on our side.
But the team is looking to work hard on all sides of the field this week before Saturday.
It's a whole new year and two new teams playing each other. We got to do a little bit better job on offense and defense, and special teams has to come to play and be a factor in the game.
Every side of the ball, offense, defense, special teams, we need to get better and play a more complete 60-minute game.
They're definitely capable of beating us. And as long as we come out in the first quarter like we did in the second half of the Franklin game, we'll come out on top.
And obviously we have a lot of things to improve on, and I'm looking forward to next week.
For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm JoJo Gentry.
The Butler women's volleyball team is looking to build on its 9-2 start with conference play just around the corner. Ari Castle has more on the team's preparation for conference and the team's widespread coverage on the court.
Normally the site of basketball games, Hinkle Fieldhouse was host to the Butler Invitational Women's Volleyball Tournament this weekend, featuring teams from IPFW, Illinois State, and Michigan State. The Butler women did not disappoint, serving up a great performance.
Well, we went 2-1, and I think we played really well this weekend. A lot of us did a lot of great things. Our defense was amazing.
To go along with their tough defense, the Bulldogs have also proved they have a high-powered offense.
Bell had some amazing swings and kills. So did Kelly, and Mary Strudel has been just going off this entire season.
The Bulldogs have been plagued with injuries this year, but Belle Obert thinks the team is hitting their stride.
Kind of gotten a good rhythm this weekend finally, with a good lineup that will hopefully stick with hopefully with no more injuries, and we can kind of see where we're going because we have a lot of potential with our team.
After 2 wins in the Butler Invitational, the team now has an overall record of 9-2, and they see no reason why the success can't continue.
Staying together as a team and fighting for the win that we want. So, especially against Michigan State, even though we lost, we stayed together as a team. We stayed very composed, and we kept fighting throughout the entire match. So I think that just being a team and working together, even if we're down.
With conference play starting right around the corner, the Bulldogs' future is looking very bright. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Ari Castle.
The Butler men's soccer team plans to kick it up a notch against Brown University this Sunday at the Butler Bowl. The Bulldogs had their first loss of the season against 24th-ranked Northwestern last weekend. Matt catches up with John Dawson, focusing on the next game.
No time to get complacent. So come tomorrow in training, we'll treat it like any other day, ready to get after it, ready to get going, because we really got to win on Sunday. This is the turning point of our season. Even though we're 4-1-1, we got to treat it as if every game could be our last, and we got to bring it all every time.
The Butler women's soccer team is nationally ranked at number 25 after taking down number 11 Michigan last Sunday at home. The Bulldogs went ahead early with a goal in the 29th minute, and that's all they would need. The defense held Michigan scoreless despite 12 shot attempts on goal. Butler head coach Terry St. John said the Bulldogs went into this game like it was any other.
I think we approached that game like it wasn't going to be a big win. I mean, we didn't get too caught up in their ranking, and we knew they were a good team, and we did a good job scouting and figuring out how they were going to play, and I thought we had a good game plan. So we stuck to the process, and I think what we end up with is we can sit back and say, yeah, that was a really big win.
The Bulldogs will face a 4-game road trip with games at Wright State and IUPUI before kicking off conference play at Villanova and Seton Hall next weekend.
One is playing with international experience under her belt this season, competing for Team USA in the Deaf Olympics this summer. Austin Monteith has the story.
Junior Kelly Kyle is back from Sofia, Bulgaria, where she played for Team USA at the 2013 Summer Deaf Olympics. The Crawfordsville, Indiana native says it was a thrill to play alongside other hearing-impaired athletes from across the globe.
It was an amazing experience. Going against international teams, players from all around the world. They play different styles of volleyball. I'm glad I was able to represent the Butler community and my hometown.
Kyle learned sign language for the first time in order to communicate with her teammates. Unlike Kyle, the majority of her teammates were completely deaf.
I knew little to no sign language going into this whole experience. It's like learning a new language. I'm not the best at learning foreign languages, but I picked up a lot along the way.
Butler head coach Sharon Clark says there are minor differences in the way she communicates with Kyle.
There are subtle things, definitely working on communication skills and styles so that I can make sure that she understands what I'm saying all the time. Not talking behind her where she can't hear me at all. Those kind of little things.
Clark says the international playing experience is beneficial to Kyle as she continues her career at Butler.
I do. I think any of the players, anytime they get an opportunity to get international experience playing with another team, as well as playing for their country, it's just a unique experience that everyone doesn't get. It makes them more mature as athletes and as players, and it certainly helps them in their game as they continue.
Kyle and Team USA finished in 4th place in the volleyball tournament at the Deaf Olympics. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Austin Monty.
Hey there, Bulldogs. I'm Millie Sauber, and I'm giving this week's Butler scoreboard. Butler Volleyball has a busy weekend ahead with the Butler Classic at Hinkle Fieldhouse. UT Martin, Toledo, and Green Bay are the other teams in this year's Classic. The volleyball action starts at 11 o'clock Friday morning. An Ivy League school will be playing in the Butler Bowl for the first time on Saturday against our Bulldogs. Dartmouth will be in town for an evening game. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock. Tailgating starts at 3. Finishing the weekend will be Butler men's soccer against Brown on Sunday in the Bowl. Game time is 1 o'clock. Butler women's soccer is at IUPUI. Let's go, Dogs.
That wraps up this edition of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm Matt Schumacher.
And I'm JoJo Gentry. Have a great week, Bulldog fans.
Winning 9 of its first 11 matches this season, the Butler volleyball team is off to a great start. I'm Colin Likas, and on today's interview segment of the Bulldog Blitz, I'll be talking to 2 players on the squad. Junior Brooke Ruffalo and freshman Kristen Webb have been key contributors to the team's success early this season. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start off talking about your early success this season. You guys are off to a 9-2 start. Your only 2 losses are to pretty big-name schools in Arizona and Michigan State, but you've beaten the likes of Cincinnati, Eastern Kentucky, and Tennessee. So how have you guys gotten off to such a fast start? What's been the secret to the success? Brooke, we'll start with you.
I think it's just like the flow and charisma we have as a team. When we get on a court, things just happen to work out in our favor. We go through the scout, and we happen to have amazing coaches that give us full scouting reports on our opponents. So, when we go out on the court, we stick to the scout, we do what we're supposed to do, and things just happen.
Yeah, just like Brooke said, like our coaches really prepare us for every game, and in practices we really work hard to know what the opponent's going to do before we get into the game, so we're really prepared. And just early on in preseason too, like we worked really hard as a team to just like keep raising it to the next level. So just early preparation.
Yeah. And you guys started off the season with a 4-match win streak. After the loss to Arizona, you went on a 5-match win streak after that. So is this something that fans should be expecting this year? Are you guys going to be kind of a win streak team here? Or how do you just go on these extended win streaks?
Yeah, well, we take it game by game. We don't look forward. We don't look ahead. I think that, we're like a mature team. We're very old. We have 3 seniors, 7 juniors, and then with the help of all of our freshmen who have come in and just raised our level of intensity, we're going to definitely have lots of win streaks, and I think that if we just focus on the next game ahead, we can make it far. Yeah.
And looking at kind of preparation for especially the Big East, you guys won't start Big East play until September 17th or 27th, against Xavier. But you're preparing for big name schools like Georgetown, Marquette, Villanova. So, Kristen, you talked about preseason preparation earlier. What are some key things that Coach Clark has been going over? How did you just prepare for the start of this season, knowing that there were those big teams coming up that you'll have to play multiple times?
I think just knowing that, they're big name teams, but they're just another team. When we played Michigan State, it was really just a mental game just to think that, that's not Michigan State, that's just another team. And so I think Coach Clark is always just it's another opponent, it's another game. Volleyball is a simple sport. We have to keep the ball up on our side, we have to put it down on their side. And she emphasizes ball control, and just a lot of ball control drills we worked on a lot during preseason and every day in practice. So. Yeah.
Brooke, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, we already have a couple rivalries going with Xavier from the A10 last year. So, establishing new rivals for the Big East will be exciting. And I think we're just excited to just get out there and just make a name in the Big East again like we did for the A10. So definitely working on ball control, because that's a huge thing we do in practice, and all the components will come together.
Yeah. And you were talking about the Atlantic 10 a little bit in the Big East. You're a junior. This is your 3rd conference in 3 years on the volleyball team. What has it been like to you jump from the Horizon League to the Atlantic 10 conference, then to the Big East? What is it like to jump like that each year, and how do you prepare for that each preseason?
Well, every season, every preseason specifically, we have introduced each team. Each player gets a team, and we introduce them through a presentation or some kind of PowerPoint. And our goal is to make a name in the new conference, and we have no pressure, so we can go out there and do our own thing. But we just study each team. We get to know the school a little bit, and what the makeup is of their gymnasium and everything like that. But it's been fun. It's been cool traveling. We've gotten to go to places like Rhode Island and New York City. And then this year we'll get to go. Our conference tournament is in Omaha, Nebraska, at Creighton's gym. So if we get to make it to the tournament, that would be awesome. But it's been so fun, and not many college athletes get to say that they have played in 3 different conferences in college. So it's pretty interesting, and I hope we get to stay, because like I said, it's fun to get those rivalries and then to keep them and to play them the next year. So. Right.
Now, in your opinion, did the preparation for this season change anymore because of being in the Big East, because of kind of the changing competition?
I don't see a difference. We have grown as a team. I know me and the juniors, we have gone through a lot together, and comparing all of our preseasons and preparation, I would say it's the exact same. The competition is harder, but I think we train at the same level.
Okay. And Kristen, you're obviously a freshman, came to Butler from Libertyville High School in Illinois. Talk a little bit about how you ended up at Butler, and did Butler moving to the Big East this year, did that kind of influence your decision, impact your decision in any way?
Well, I ended up at Butler. I was recruited by Coach Clark, and when I visited, I just fell in love with the campus. It was really just an easy decision to be okay, I really want to go here for the school and for volleyball. And I was really excited about the Atlantic 10 because I have a couple club teammates that are playing at schools that are in the Atlantic 10. But also I was excited that we moved to the Big East because I'll get to play close to home at DePaul and Marquette. So yeah, it was just exciting either way. So.
Yeah, and you two can kind of relate to each other because you're both walk-ons. You were a walk-on 2 years ago, and you're walking on now. So, Brooke, what have you seen from Kristen? Maybe you see a little bit of yourself in her. I'm not sure, but what have you seen from her that's kind of helped her become such a successful player and become a key component of the Bulldogs this year?
Well, yeah, Kristen and I have lots of similarities. I mean, I'm so grateful that she came here because I've even told Coach Clark this, but Kristen has upped my level of play. So in preseason, there's I think 5 or 6 girls in our position alone. So it really helped with competition, and I think that together, both of us on the court, we just have great flow. We have great charisma, like I said earlier, and we can really we have great defense. So I think it works out. We have fun too. So
yeah. And Kristen, you've played in all 11 matches this season as a freshman. Why do you think Coach Clark kind of sees you as a really valuable part of the team that she kind of has to have you out there all 11 matches so far?
Well, I don't know. I like to think that I bring a lot of energy to the team, and just I just want to, like Brooke said, defensively, I just want to get anything and everything up. And I mean, I just look up to Brooke so much because she's amazing, and just yeah. So I just want to be like that. But I think just Coach Clark sees a desire that I want to play great defense and energy and positivity.
Very positive. Very positive.
Now, you've both been talking a bit about defense because you're both working as defensive specialists more so. Talk a little bit about that, because when some people think of volleyball, they might think, oh, you're just trying to get the ball over the net, trying to score points against the other team. But obviously, there's more to it than that. So, can you guys just talk a little bit about how you become defensive specialists and what goes into preparing for that?
Well, usually defensive specialists aren't as tall, so people are always like, you're not on the volleyball team, you're too short. So we're definitely the people that need to start a game, because you can't start a game without a pass or defense, but we don't usually get all the limelight, all the flashing lights. But
sure.
Defense it's an attitude, and I think that we all do a great job of bringing the attitude to every practice, every game. I think that together, I lost my train of thought. That together, we really bring lots of energy, and we have lots of momentum swings just through what we do. But I mean, defense is fun.
Yeah, defense is great, and it's just awesome to know that a hitter would go up and take a great swing, but you got under that ball and you just frustrate them because they wanted that kill and we won't let them have it. So
right. Looking forward to the rest of the season. The Butler Classic is going on this weekend on campus. You guys open up with a match against Green Bay. What is your guys' outlook for this tournament?
Well, this is our second home tournament, and we're 4-1 at home, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, we played Green Bay back in the Horizon League, and we went to 5 with them. They're a great team, but, we're just going to stick to the scout. We're going to take it to them, and hopefully go 3-0 this weekend.
Yeah. And then looking forward to the Big East season again, which, as I said earlier, starts against Xavier on the 27th. What are maybe some matchups you're looking forward to? Obviously, you talked a little bit about the rivalry with Xavier coming from the A10, but what are maybe some rivalries you think you could form in the conference? We'll start with you, Kristen.
Oh man. Well, I'm really looking forward to playing Marquette and Creighton. They're ranked pretty high, or I think maybe the top 2 in the Big East right now.
Yeah.
So that'll be a great game, and just want to go out and make a name for ourselves. And Xavier, I guess, is a big rivalry from last year, so I'm excited for that match too.
Yeah. Brooke?
Yeah, I agree. Marquette, they had a little write-up about us, and they're not expecting much from us this year, so underdogs, hopefully.
A little bit of motivation.
Yeah. And Creighton, of course, because they were in top 25 at one point, so that would be awesome.
Brooke, Kristen, thank you both for joining me today on the Bulldog Blitz. Appreciate it. It's all the time we have for this week's interview. Thanks again for joining me. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Colin Likas.